Hello and good evening. Welcome back. Welcome back to the awesome program for the final day of 50 questions to ask yourself when finding your passion in life. I am your host, Women's Empowerment and Business Coach, Miss Vihil Vigil, and I'm so very excited to be wrapping up this 5-day program so you can get a sense of what it is to go for the thing that you are most passionate about in your life. And the way that I coach you through asking those questions. Now we're going to go through the final page of questions 41 to 50. And then we're going to talk a little bit at the end about what is next for you, like what this means now that you have gone through 5 days of answering these questions that you've been asking of yourself that really dive into who are you? What are you doing with yourself? Are you focusing on living your life with intention, with conviction, with passion? And if you're not, how can we get you there? And how can we always help you to improve in that area? I think it's something we should always give attention to on a consistent basis. And I think it's something that we should always revisit. I revisit this program once a year, usually in the first quarter of the year, because it reminds me of why I'm so passionate about coaching business owners to become the best they can possibly be. Right now, we're working on ensuring that all of our clients have the foundational documents in order for their business. You know, that financial plan, that business plan, that marketing plan, that strategy plan. And if you are a business owner and you don't have those sorts of plans in place, we have a great program going on right now. Just DM me or comment below, plan, and I will make sure to send you that information. So let's get to it. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And if you have caught the previous program videos and discussions, then you will have known that you are able to receive this document. All you have to do is comment below document, and I will send you the link to download the PDF from the Google Drive. You don't have to enter in your email address. You don't have to commit to anything. Just comment document, and I'll make sure that you get the link to download it for yourself. So, final day, 50 questions for finding your passion in life in 5 days. When it comes to finding our passion and purpose in life, one of the biggest obstacles that gets in the way is a job that sucks the life out of us. It's very common for people to hate their jobs, to dislike what they're doing, and know deep down that they'd rather have a completely different life, but fail to change anything. The idea of finding your passion and purpose can sound daunting, especially if we compare ourselves to others and to people who appear to have it all, right? And they just know what it is that they want to spend the rest of their lives doing. We compare ourselves to people who appear to have it all put together. But remember, we're all real people. We all have things that we have to do and that take us away from our passions on a day-to-day basis. But rather than focusing on what anyone else is doing, if we adopt a confident and a curious attitude about finding our own passion in life, it will naturally unfold before us. I truly, truly believe this. Curious is the operative word. Let your inquisitiveness and intuition guide you towards those options that are perhaps less obvious and the interests that you've always had but have never really pursued. Is there something that you've always wanted to do, but you've never given yourself the opportunity to try it? What would you do if earning money was no longer an issue, if that wasn't the focus? The interests that you're attracted to pursuing might seem shallow, irrelevant, or impractical, but don't be too quick to dismiss anything. Trust yourself. You are drawn to these things for a reason. You will be more successful doing what you love than doing something safe that you hate. I am a firm believer in that. We are going to help you with finding clarity in what you are passionate about in your life through answering these 50 questions in a thorough and thoughtful manner. We have been answering these questions 1 page a day. So we are going to scoot right on down to our final page. So that's where we left off, was question 40. So we're going to go straight to question 41. So to date, what steps have you taken towards making these things happen? Now, yesterday in day 4, we spoke about and asked questions such as, what are things that you'd really like to achieve or accomplish? What would your ideal day look like? Would you be willing to take a cutback in your current way of living to be able to pursue something, to decide if you were going to be able to fully commit to that, to make that shift, to make that pivot? So going back to today's question number 41, what steps have you taken towards making these things happen? Now, being that today is the 5th day to this brief program on 50 questions for finding your passion in life, you may have done nothing to this date. But what you have done is you've allowed yourself the opportunity to think about this, to think about what you are passionate about doing. What would you say you are able to do well, but you don't like to do? Now, I can do accounting pretty well, but I don't like to do accounting. That's why I have an accountant who helps me with my personal finances as well as my business finances. So even though we can do something, doesn't mean that we want to do it. Don't do the thing that sucks the life out of you. Question 42. Would you be willing to work in a less than passionate job to pursue your passion outside of work or as a part-time job? So let's think about that. Is your passion that you want to do, for me, for example, to be a women's empowerment business coach? I oftentimes focus on working with women who have gone through trauma. So we perform trauma-informed coaching with grace, where we take into account there may be some triggers that happen during the course of my guidance, because I'm saying, this is what you need to be doing, let's go down this road. And if the way that I say that to you happens to trigger an emotion, I work with you through it and not let it continue to block you. Now, could I do this work and work another job? I don't think so. I think I would not be able to do this as successful as I do if I were having to constantly fragment my focus. Everything that I do is built around women's empowerment and business coaching. Everything that I do is as a service provider to share my knowledge and my experience with you. Could I compartmentalize and go do some other job that wasn't related? So now I do design work, but it's very much so related to business coaching and to business consulting. Something that wasn't within my wheelhouse, I could not do. Something within my wheelhouse, women's empowerment, business coaching and consulting, business development, documentation, etc., that I could definitely do. It's within the wheelhouse of the empowerment empire. Could you do that? Would you be able to continue pursuing a passion of yours while working another job, part-time, full-time, etc.? It's just something to think about, something to consider. Do you currently do this? Would you want to do this? Question 43. Imagine you woke up nearly every day feeling happy, feeling fulfilled, and feeling content about your life and work, how would that impact you? Physically, mentally, emotionally, in your relationships, in your self-confidence? Like, imagine you woke up nearly every day feeling amazing, feeling happy, fulfilled, content about your life and the work that you do. How would that impact you? Physically, mentally, emotionally, in your relationships, and also in your self-confidence. If you did what you loved every day, how would your self-confidence skyrocket? I think it's important to think about that, to put that hat on and think about what is that like to have that every day? What would that be like to have that every day? It's amazing. When I wake up every day and I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't have to go to work for this XYZ company, even though, I love being a businesswoman, I didn't really like doing that work. When I wake up every morning, now I'm thinking, okay, who's on my schedule for today? Which amazing person do I get to talk to today? Which company am I going to be helping today? Like, that's exciting. That's fulfilling. Jumping on here with you at 6:00 in the evening. And then I have an amazing announcement happening at 7:00 because we're adding more services to the Empowerment Empire. That you can see, you can feel the passion about how fulfilling that is. It fills me to the core with joy. And I want you to feel that. I want to share that with you. I hope I am resonating with you through the Zoom screen. Right. Question 44. How has living a less than passionate life affected you? And think about specific examples. Now, I can tell you from my experience. Let's read the question one more time. How has living a less than passionate life affected you? Give specific examples. I have experienced times of severe depression, knowing that I was going down a dark hole, to my imagination. I was going down a dark hole and I was stuck. I was walking in tar that was hardening down a dark hole. Imagine what that feels like. It's horrible. It's absolute horrible. It gives you a sense of dread, a sense of like never-ending sadness. That's what it did to me. And that's when I really knew. My mother said something to me one time that really rocked me. She said, honey, don't you smile anymore. And I knew that when that cherry was placed on the top with that statement, that I had to change something. Because when my mom would say something like that to me, it was really because she was trying to crack through that shell that I had put around me, because she saw it on my face. I needed to get out. I needed a change. That is my very personal, specific example that I can think of to give you. That's what living a less than passionate life affected or did to me. That's how it affected me. So what are your specific examples? Think about living a life less than passionate. How has it affected you? Or how do you, if you remember a time when you were just going through some stuff and you thought, wow, this is a really horrible, challenging time in my life. How did that affect you? You were probably tired a lot. You had a lot of anxiety. Maybe you were short-tempered. You probably didn't eat very well. You probably didn't sleep very well. You certainly weren't laughing, smiling, and being happy and sharing love and joy, right? Question 45. What life achievement would make you feel proud of yourself? What life achievement would make you feel proud of yourself? Write it down. Is it getting a bachelor's degree? Is it getting a master's degree? Is it doing so many designs on Canva that you end up getting your 200 design certificate sent to you? Is it, being recognized for your work by your company, in your newspaper, by, being voted MVP on your local sports team? What is it? What life achievement would make you feel proud of yourself? Write it down. Think about, what do you want to achieve? It will change regularly, of course, because you will achieve those things and then you will want something else to achieve. And that's okay. It's always okay to want more. It's always okay to want to continue learning. And when I say it's always okay to want more, in a sense where you're not trying to fulfill wants with or to fulfill happiness that is rooted somewhere else with like things. And I hope you know what I mean by that. We're not trying to cover up work that needs to be done, mental, physical wellness, by overcompensating through the achievement of things. But are there some particular achievements that would just really, to the core, help you to get to that next level? It would make you feel really proud. For me, it was when I incorporated my business. It was when, Therapeutic Empowerment and Magistra Magazine and the Businesswomen of Diversity Power Luncheons became the empowerment empire. We still have those columns of the organization, coaching, events, publications, but now it's under the umbrella of the Empowerment Empire LLC. That was a really proud moment for me. So what achievement would make you feel really proud of yourself? Write it down. Write it down. If you have this notebook, I want you to be making notes underneath each little question. If you need to grab a separate sheet of paper, grab a separate sheet of paper so that you can, have your notes. Brainstorm. There's not a lot of room on this document for you to take notes. Normally I leave you with some writing space. I did not on this one. Okay, let's move forward. 47. Question 47. If you had the chance to start fresh all over again with your life, your relationships, and your career, what would you do differently? And now, I don't say, well, we shoulda, coulda, woulda. I hate those things. This is one of my, I despise the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because we're not going to get ourselves stuck in this like, oh, woe is me situation. But it's important to ask, if you had the chance to start fresh all over again with your life, with your relationships, your career, what would you do differently? And I always say, with my life, I would have set up IRAs and I would have bought property earlier on in life rather than later in life. Straight out of high school or straight out of college, while I was in the military, straight out of high school while I was in the military, or straight out of college, I should have bought property, houses, apartment complex, rental properties, etc. That's what I always recommend to people. Buy property. Make larger investments earlier on in life in a smart way with the advice of a banker and an investment advisor. With my relationships, I would have stood up for myself more. I would have been more vocal about what I want and what I need out of the relationships, I think. For my career, I like the way my career flowed. I went from, customer service. After I got out of the military, I went to customer service. I learned sales skills when I was running art galleries. I've always been involved in my community doing volunteer work. I've always, volunteered to be on boards of directors. It's something I truly love and I'm very passionate about. Through being a director of membership services for statewide trade and professional associations to a senior project manager with several campuses of the University of California, UC Berkeley, Davis, the UC Path Center in Riverside, a little bit with UCLA, and then the UC Office of the President in Oakland. All of those things that I did got me to where I am now. It has allowed me to be able to have the skill set to be a great business coach, an empowerment coach, a business consultant, doing what I do now. So think about it in those terms. If you had the chance to start fresh, what would you do differently? Write those things down. This is the information you give to your children and say, this is what I advise you to do, and then help them do it. Help them be confident enough to stand up for themselves in relationships. Help them to make great financial decisions when they're young. Help them understand what a career path means. They don't have to stay in one job for 65 years or 50 years or whatever, but they should be doing something that they're good at and they love doing. All right. Question 48. Can you go back for a redo on any of these things? If your answer is no, are you 100% sure? For example, can you reach back out to those past relationships and say, hey, I just want to say, thank you for what I learned from this relationship. That would do it for relationships. Your career, you can always learn something new. A very good friend of mine, she worked in, higher education for most of her adult career and decided she wanted to become a surgical nurse. So in her, I want to say she was probably close to 50 years old, went back to school, and she is now a surgical nurse. And she loves it. So there's always an opportunity to do a career shift or a change. It's not going to be easy. But if that's what you're truly passionate about, you have the power within you to make that shift, make that change. If for you in your life, you wanted to be, more involved in investments, then do that. That's what I'm doing now is I'm learning through the help of a financial advisor how to make these specific financial decisions. Question 49. If you live to age 80, how many days do you have left to live? So 80 minus your current age multiplied by 365. 80 minus your current age multiplied by 365. How many days would you have left to live? Not to scare you, not to place anything on you, but just to give you something to think about. And the final question, 50. How many of those days are you willing to live disliking any aspect of your life? For example, your work, your relationships, or even parts of yourself. How many of those days are you willing to live disliking anything about your life? How many days? Do you want to live unhappy? Do you want to live with passion? Are you willing to pursue it? That, I think, is the exclamation point in the whole list of questions. By looking at different areas of your life and by really thinking about the different areas of your life, we have come to this final question. How many days are you willing to live disliking any aspect of your life? Because you don't deserve to live any days disliking your life. So now, like I promised, your practical next steps. What's the first few steps that you can make today towards pursuing your passions and in living a life that would feel more meaningful, purpose-driven, and fulfilling? Did you take the time to answer one page a day? If you did, or if you didn't, go ahead and take some time to absorb your answers to each page of questions. If you didn't get a chance to answer all of them, go back to the beginning and answer the questions that you skipped over, which was fine, and give yourself the opportunity to go through and actually answer every single question. It takes you on a mental journey of your life and where you've been and where you want to go. How do your answers make you feel? Remember, we're talking about passion here. Passion can be manifested in lots of different ways. I want it to inspire you. I want you to be able to take a look at yourself and say, I am so passionate about doing this particular thing, and I don't give myself the chance to do it. I'm giving you permission. If someone needs to give you permission, let it be me. You have permission to do what you love. Embrace that. Give it to yourself. Give yourself the permission to try something new or to continue to develop something that you're already doing. Embrace the passion that you have for something in your life and pursue it. You will be all the more happy for it. And you deserve to live however many days that you can anticipate living in the happiest way possible. So take some time to sit with your answers and ask yourself what you want to do now. After taking time to really absorb your responses, ask yourself if you would like to change your future, and do you want to go about doing that? Do you want to make changes? Yes or no? Make an appointment with your coach. If that is not me, find someone to be your coach. But I am offering my services to you now to be your coach, especially with this. Since I have taken you through this journey, I would love to work with you afterwards to say, no, let's work through this. Let's make an action plan, because my jam is the plan. So let's create your plans to get you there. A single step gets you closer than you were before you took that single step. Make an appointment, ask for their thoughts, ask for your coach's thoughts, or ask my thoughts on how you answer the questions. If you do not currently have a coach and you would like a coach, I can recommend several powerhouse women coaches along with myself to work with. The most obvious practical steps are doing what feels the most natural for you. Does your gut tell you to do something? Some people call it their gut. Some people say their heart. Some people say their spirit and their soul is something telling you that you need to make another step. Do it. Try to do it. Now, if you have this PDF and you're looking at it online and you click sign up now, it will take you right to my appointment page. Let's share that page. There we go. So here you'll see planning gracefully. Single coaching session, which is 50 minutes with a 30-minute follow-up. You select your time. The next page, you will get this, enter in your information, your first name, your last name, your phone number, and your email. You will automatically get an email invitation to accept onto your calendar. We could meet via phone. We could meet via Zoom. So I want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time and giving this time to yourself to really learn how to be truly passionate in the way that you live your life. You absolutely deserve it. There's no reason why you don't. We've all made mistakes, and we all can get over those mistakes by failing forward, by being willing to get back up and to say, I'm going to try that again, but I'm going to make some tweaks because I learned something the last time. Life is a journey. It is a constant learning opportunity. So don't be so hard on yourself when things don't go right. The most important thing is you get back up and you take that next step to keep moving forward. So with that, it is a great pleasure to have had you all. My name is Vihil Vigil. I'm a women's empowerment business coach, and I'm looking forward to working with you and to seeing those appointments that you book so that we can talk about this journey on 50 questions to finding your passion in life over the course of 5 days. If you haven't had a chance to watch the previous videos, go back, watch them, and remember, drop workbook in the comments if you would like to receive the PDF of this workbook. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.